So, about that eRacing.
Now, no doubt since we launched eRacing 1 year ago, the platform has gained tremendous momentum in recent weeks. But we're not just ones to just leave it there.
So just to recap, eRacing, launched in 2019, has become the most realistic simulator in the business. Sure, other simulations might boast about their physics model or their wide range of cars, but eRacing is the only simulation that contains features like riding the tow truck all the way back, having to face your crew when you arrive, concerned texts from your family or friends after you crash, not being allowed to race until the money clears, having to walk the paddock when you're out of money, and of course, making sure you have the perfect excuse to quit.
For some reason in the last couple of weeks, eRacing has enjoyed explosive growth, and especially from professional racers who all of a sudden started signing up. So with that in mind, we have custom tailored our next round of updates exclusively for pro racers who now have a lot of time on their hands.
That's why we welcome you to eRacing Update 2.0. As a driver myself, I know just how hard it can be to make the transition into virtual racing. The first thing you'll notice is, man, some of these virtual racers are fast. Like crazy fast, right? And if there's one thing I know about sports car racing, it's that if you're not fast enough, that's just not fair. And that's why eRacing is the first to introduce virtual driver ratings. That's right. Now, in order to get your eRacing license, you'll have to send in your application to the FEA, which is a dedicated software group in Europe who pays no attention to American sim racing whatsoever, but it gives us a good wall to hide behind when our clients are upset.
Now, driver ratings may sound like something that could make virtual racing more complicated, but at eRacing, we tried to make a driver rating system that was very clear and very easy to understand because we agree it is not fair that pros have to race against amateurs that are much faster than them.
First, there's the new eRacing color system. It's very simple to understand. We assign a color that's based on your experience and your talent. Top sim racers will be rated as barn red. Good drivers will be rated as blood red. Decent drivers will be rated as cardinal red. And those needing more experience, crimson.
Now, if this sounds confusing, don't worry. We've put a lot of thought into making this easy. Top drivers are super clear. If you drive for a top sim racing team, if you still live with your parents, if you've never talked to a girl, and if you're Max Verstappen, you are barn red. If you're over 22, however, you're automatically downgraded to blood red. Now let's say you're okay, but you have a real job. Then chances are you'll be rated as cardinal. Cardinal rated drivers have a job, have some sense of social life, understand that this is supposed to be fun, and likely never speak on the eRacing radio. And finally, there's crimson. To become crimson, it's very simple. Just get yelled at by everyone else who doesn't understand that it's supposed to be fun, and that also your sense of self-worth isn't based on driving a racing game.
Are you f***ing donkey? If you just drove back online like that, you'd be dead, wouldn't you? And the world would be a better place.
Also, if you're Ray Alfala, you're just not invited.
Wait, what?
Now, when it comes to pro drivers trying to make the transition to virtual racing, everyone at eRacing knows that driving is only a part of it. Our first feature is eRacing's new walking interview. Are you so mad after an e-race that you can't possibly be bothered to stop, actually speak to a reporter, and represent your sponsors properly? No problem. With eRacing's Angry Interview feature, you can just keep walking while the media burdens you with trying to do their job.
Guys, I guess they're too mad to talk. Back to you up in the booth.
Everyone at eRacing understands the value of social media. So that's why in our new update, we've added several new features that show you're putting in the work. Now, you're not really a pro racer unless you take 15 shots of yourself at your home gym. And that's why with eRacing, we've built the same feature right into the simulation. With our InstaGym app, your avatar never stops showing the world how you're totally race ready. Still referring to your race cars and office? We got you covered. As soon as you log in, we'll automatically upload photos of your sim rig so that everyone sees your new office. Now, if you want to look like you have a personality on our eRacing platform, but you're not sure how, well, we have a new feature. It's called ePup. With ePup, even if you don't have a personality, our virtual dog will give you something to post about constantly, even if you're really not that interesting. We've even developed this with some of the most benign in the business, like NASCAR winner Alex Bowman.
ePup? Come on!
Or why not get private coaching from the master himself, Simon Pageant.
Wait. Is that why you wanted us on the video?
Now, our new features don't just stop with driving. eRacing 2.0 also has brand new PR and broadcast updates as well.
With eRacing's new trade show feature, for those trying to get into driving, we've added a new plugin that allows you to virtually walk any major trade show just so you can feel like you're in the scene. We'll even tweet for you with such posts as hanging out with my bros at some generic wraps company, or simply making it look like you're a VIP at a party that really anyone can get into.
And don't worry, just like real trade shows, when a new driver shows up in an eRacing trade show, it's still pointless. Finally, it's not modern sim racing unless there's a broadcast component. And with the recent explosion of sim race broadcasts everywhere, eRacing has also got you covered.
Luckily, eStockCar has actually been ahead of the game for years, having been involved with their own league, broadcast, and completely adopting the virtual space. eStockCar is way ahead of the game, and if you enjoy eRacing's style of stock car racing, you will not be disappointed with their broadcast component. For fans of eOpenWheel, we're definitely making progress. With plenty of great broadcasts both for European and American open wheel racing, the people in charge are definitely making the right steps to adopt this.
Now for fans of eSports car, don't worry. Senior management is currently putting together an analysis plan in which they can do a data review and then put together an executive subcommittee who will hopefully analyze and then put together an action strategy. Wholesale approach with a global view, but also one that's rooted in grassroots, which, pending further review, will then decide what the best course of action to present to the leadership team might be. And at that
Dude, I still have to work in sports car racing. Now, just like real racing, we've noticed that the current racing shutdown has given many racers a new excuse not to just quit the sport, but also humble complain. With our new e-COVID feature, you can now say you've had a big deal cooking, but the shutdown screwed it all up, whether it was true or not. Implement the use of fansplaining, where you pretend to educate the people in the name of advertising how you're out of work. Or why not utilize our new humble complaint option, where you use the opportunity to complain when it's really just an opportunity to show how successful you are. Tow truck rides, walking the paddock, gym selfies,
broadcasts, middle management, pointless trade shows. Whether you liked our first version or our new updated second version, we have it all.
eRacing, the ultimate in realism.
We're on a road trip!